Hi Archers! The hero growth system has been implemented into ARCHERO, and it has changed a lot within the game. In this video, I'll be guiding you with how the growth system works, how you should level/upgrade your heroes, and the best places to farm sapphires. My name is Teeds and I make many ARCHERO videos from guides, tier lists, updates, news, and more. Please do subscribe and click the bell for more ARCHERO content. The hero growth system is a new feature that was introduced into the 1.2.6 update for ARCHERO. This system is unlocked after completing Chapter 3. Once you've completed Chapter 3, go to your Equipment tab, click on Change Hero, and here you'll see all the heroes you own and the heroes you can purchase. You can upgrade your heroes all the way to level 80 and can level the hero to the level of your account. For example, if your account level is level 20, then you can only reach level 20 with your heroes. If your account level is level 43, then you can only reach level 43 with your heroes. Every 20 levels you upgrade your hero, you can unlock a stat. Each hero has 4 stats that you can unlock. Every hero except Helix has 2 personal stats they can unlock and 2 universal stats that will unlock for all heroes. You do not need to play the hero to level them. You can play any hero, you just need to collect the materials, and then you can choose what hero you want to upgrade. Upgrading a hero will increase their max health and base attack. The system uses sapphires that drops from every chapter except chapter 1 and 2. I'm not sure why it drops in chapter 3, as ARCHERO said you have to complete chapter 3 first, but it does, so there's that. Once you have the sapphires as materials, you'll have to pay the upgrade with coins. Next, the best ways to invest your sapphires. So as I said earlier, each hero has 2 universal stats that unlock at level 20 and level 60, all except for Helix, who only has a universal stat that unlocks at level 60. These universal stats will apply to all heroes you have. Because of this, there is a benefit of upgrading all your heroes eventually, because upgrading all your heroes eventually will unlock all the universal hero stats. So the more heroes you own, the better, as you have more to unlock. This goes for the people that were regretting their purchases for certain heroes. It's okay, they're all good. It is very beneficial to own as many as you can. However, it's very unlikely we will be playing all the heroes unless something changes in the game that makes us. It's not worth it to upgrade other heroes you don't use past level 60, as it's just a single stat for that hero. You may be thinking, okay, that sounds simple. I should just level up all the heroes to level 20 to get the universal stat. Yes and no. The universal stat is great if you are constantly rotating heroes or are using more than one. Over the past few days, I've seen pretty much every player state that they have been upgrading all the heroes they own to level 20. After putting the numbers together, that is not the best bang for your buck. And if you're one of the many who have already invested into the other heroes, don't worry. You didn't invest into nothing. Fortunately, sapphires are not hard to come by and it's just all really a long grind. This method is still great for those who are using more than one hero. But if you're not using more than one hero and you're only focused on the one and only hero, your main hero, I would just upgrade your main hero until it gets too expensive. There is a point in where reaching level 20 on all the heroes you own is worth it, and it will come. But it's not right away as some of you may be doing. This is going to be really complex and it might just get a little confusing, so I hope I can really simplify this for you. First, let's use our new hero Helix, starting from level 20, as level 20 is when all heroes except Helix gain a universal stat for all the heroes you own. Helix gains plus 10 attack and plus 43 health every time you upgrade him. We're going to just look at the attack here and ignore the increased health when upgrading. Helix gains plus 10 attack per upgrade. It takes 120 sapphires to reach level 20 on a hero for a universal stat. Let's go to Urusal. At level 20, you gain 40 attack on all heroes. But remember, it takes 120 sapphires to get a hero to level 20. Instead of investing the 120 sapphires into Urusal, you should instead invest 120 sapphires into Helix. If I invest 120 sapphires into Helix at level 20 instead of Urusal at level 1 for the plus 40 attack, I instead gain 70 attack instead of 40 for the same amount of sapphires. That would bring Helix from level 20 to level 27. This calculation did not include the health. If we do include the health, then the value of 120 sapphires is higher when investing it purely into Helix from level 20. So again, 120 sapphires on Urusul for the universal stat only equals to plus 40 attack. 120 sapphires on Helix from level 20 would equal to plus 70 attack and 301 health. ARCHERO has a universal stat of plus 100 increased max health at level 20. Helix gains a whooping 43 health per upgrade. 3 upgrades on Helix, which equals of a total 45 sapphires at level 20, would surpass the value of 120 sapphires invested into ARCHERO for the universal stat. Health-wise, if we were to invest the 120 sapphires into Helix, instead of gaining 100 health from ARCHERO, Helix would gain 301 health, which is 201 health more than the universal stat. So with that, upgrading all the heroes to level 20 is not what you should do right away unless you play more than one hero. If you're just focusing on the main hero you're playing, it's much better to invest your sapphires into your main hero until it becomes more valuable to invest the sapphires into the other heroes. With Furin and Tyrannus, who both give 2% increased crit chance, that is entirely up to you if you want to invest 120 sapphires for the stat. It just depends if you value crit chance over power. So just an example, you could invest 120 sapphires into Furin for 2% increased crit chance, or you could invest 120 sapphires into, again, we're using Helix, so plus 70 attack. This is an example if Helix was level 20. Basically, it's just 2% crit chance versus 70 attack. With Roller and Onia, I haven't included their universal stat calculations as they're not readily available for all players. So if requested, I will do that in a separate video. I did do some more calculations to figure out the point of when you should begin investing into other heroes for the universal stat. To understand what I did, we'll be first focusing on attack only, so just only attack, okay? For all heroes, if you were just focusing on the universal attack stat from Urusul, who again gives you 40 universal attack, then you would stop around level 32 for the weaker heroes in terms of attack per level to level 37 for the stronger heroes, and then it becomes worth it to invest your sapphires into Urusul for the universal stat. So for example, you would upgrade Furin to level 31 and Helix to level 35, and then it becomes more valuable to invest into the other hero Urusul for the stat. Remember again, this is just for the attack only. This is not including attack and health. To put it simply on how I figured the calculations to find the point of when you should invest into Urusul's universal stat, Urusul gives all heroes 40 attack. To get that stat, you must spend 120 sapphires on Urusul, which upgrades him to level 20. To get the same power on Helix, which we'll be using as an example here, you need to level up 4 times, as one upgrade on Helix is 10 attack. So upgrading Helix 4 times would equal to 40 attack. What I needed to figure out is at what point leveling Helix up 4 times costs 120 sapphires. This is the point where it's worth investing into Urusul's universal stat instead if we only look at the attack. For Helix, level 35 is where you would stop and start investing into Urusul for the 40 universal attack. Remember, this is only for the attack and we're not calculating the health in yet. But if we want to do the same thing for both health and attack, we will need to include ARCHERO's universal stat, which gives all heroes 100 plus max health. I've calculated all that for you here. An important note, some heroes do get further health from leveling up 4 times, which I couldn't include in these calculations. This is just finding a middle ground between attack and health. You can pause here for a small visual guide stating what level you should start investing into other heroes for the universal stat. So basically, invest into your main hero, whichever you see listed here, until the level I've specified. After reaching that level, it is worth it to invest into another hero for the level 20 stat. And for those who are wondering what about the level 60 stat, I will do another video for that in the future because the calculations are really complex. I hope that wasn't too hard to follow, but if it was all confusing, I don't blame you. It took me much longer than expected to calculate these numbers. Remember, if you're playing more than one hero, then disregard all the information here I've given you. I don't have the calculations for that yet, but maybe I'll do that one in the future as well. If you're someone who has already invested into other heroes, don't worry, it's not bad that you did because you are still gaining something beneficial. If any of you are interested in the ARCHERO hero upgrades, 2 fellow ARCHERO players have compiled a list detailing the cost, the power, health, etc. for all heroes. Thank you so much, the Doctor and the Hammer. You have been a really big help to my calculations. I will link that in the description box below. Next, the best places to farm for sapphires. Sapphires always drop from bosses and has a chance of dropping from mobs. It drops in all chapters except chapters 1 and 2. The best place to farm sapphires is first of all your events. At the time of this video, there is still a Halloween event even though it's already nearly a week past Halloween. But if you still have it, I would use the 1-3 attempt every day it's there to farm a lot of sapphires. Some of you have been wondering if it's worth to spend 100 gems for another attempt. I would say no. It's great for speeding up progress and that's pretty much it. Personally, I would save up the gems for items from the shopkeeper. Not only that, but the sapphire drop from what I've seen and experienced in the Halloween event is the lowest I've seen is 30 sapphires and the highest I've seen is 70 sapphires. 100 gems for a possible 30 sapphires is not worth it. It drops so often in certain chapters, I'd recommend grinding it instead. I can also put it this way. At level 20, you will need 15 sapphire per upgrade until the next increase. 100 gems for one attempt can either get you 30 to 70 sapphires at level 20, and that's only leveling your chosen hero 2 to 4 times. Not only that, but you also have to pay 10 energy because that doesn't come with the gems. Investing gems into items is better. Getting an epic item is harder than farming sapphires, which commonly drop. Back to the events. As the Halloween event will eventually end, I think ARCHERO will implement more events in the future that may have sapphire rewards. So first, I would recommend to always check your event tabs. As for the best chapters, I'd recommend chapters 3, 6, and 7. Some players do farm the higher chapters, but personally I farm chapter 7. Of course, not everyone has the gear or power to do that yet, so I would stick to 3 or 6 if you're not strong enough just yet. Sapphires always drop from bosses. This is why I recommended chapter 7. Chapter 7 has the most drops as it is an all boss chapter. When you are farming chapter 7, it's good to note that you are sacrificing the item vendor as he does not pop up in chapter 7, and you are sacrificing the item drops as the item drops are not high in chapter 7. I'd recommend to farm chapter 7 if you are purely after the sapphire drops. Chapter 7 averages around 11 to 15 sapphire per run. Chapter 6 and chapter 3 are also great for sapphire runs. Not only that, but chapter 6 has more item vendor pop-ups, so this can give you more sapphires as the item vendor does sell them from time to time. If you can't farm chapter 6, just go to chapter 3. These 2 chapters also have high item drops, so it's the best bang for your buck, but the sapphire drops are a little lower. Chapter 6 averages around 10 to 12 sapphires, and chapter 3 averages around 7 to 9 sapphires. Other players have recommended chapter 3's hero mode, and some have claimed that the sapphire drops are around 15. I haven't tested chapter 3's hero mode yet, so I can't say for sure, but honestly, just farm a few of the chapters I've listed, see what works for you, and stick with it. Just remember that chapter 7 has the least drops in item vendors and items. I also, even though I have all epic items, I sometimes die to the last boss. I will be doing a new farming guide in the future where I will farm most of the chapters, and I will keep track of the item drops, item vendor pop-ups, and sapphire drops to give you the best bang buck of your time. I couldn't figure out a way to say that. That's all I have for today. I thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe and click the bell for more ARCHERO content. A like and comment would be super rad, and I hope to see you again for the next one. Bye!